My name is Anna Reed, and I am 27 years old. Right now, I am lying in a hospital bed, the steady beeping of the monitor echoing my racing heartbeat. Pain sears through my abdomen, my body weak, but my mind alert. The doctor's voice rings in my ears. There are serious complications. This surgery isn't just necessary, it's a matter of survival for both you and your baby. I swallow hard, trying to process everything. I am terrified, but I have to be strong. Suddenly, the door bursts open, slamming against the wall. I flinch as my husband, Mark Davis, storms into the room, his face twisted with anger. "Are you serious right now?" he yells. "You think I'm made of money? You expect me to pay for this nonsense?" His words hit me harder than the pain in my body. "Mark, this isn't about money," I say, my voice trembling. "It's about saving our child's life and mine." But he isn't listening. His eyes blaze with fury as he marches toward my hospital bed. "You always make everything about yourself. You're so dramatic, Anna. Why did we even have a kid if you can't handle it?" His words cut like a knife. Before I can respond, he suddenly grabs a fistful of my hair and yanks it hard. A sharp pain shoots through my scalp, and tears spring to my eyes. "Let go, Mark," I cry, struggling against his grip. His hold only tightens. And then, without warning, his free hand swings across my face. The sting of the slap explodes across my cheek. My head snaps to the side, and for a moment, the entire room spins. "Stop this, Mark. What is wrong with you?" I shout, my voice shaking. But I refuse to back down. Then, the door flies open again. This time, a nurse and a security guard rush into the room. The nurse, Maggie, gasps at the sight of my tear-streaked face. The security guard, James, immediately steps between me and Mark. "Sir, step away from her now," James commands, his voice firm. Mark clenches his fists. "Mind your own business," he snaps. But Maggie isn't hesitating. She picks up the phone and quickly dials. "I'm reporting a domestic abuse incident," she says, her voice shaking but determined. Mark's face twists with fury. He turns back to me, his voice a sharp whisper. "You'll regret this, Anna." The security guard steps forward, grabbing Mark's arm. "Sir, you need to leave now." Mark yanks his arm away, but sees that he is outnumbered. With a final glare, he storms out of the hospital. As the door slams shut behind him, a heavy silence follows. Maggie kneels beside me, placing a gentle hand on my arm. "You're safe now, Anna. We're reporting this immediately, and a restraining order will be filed against him." I nod weakly, tears slipping down my face. Dr. Harper enters the room, her expression serious yet kind. "Anna, we need to proceed with the surgery as soon as possible," she says. "It's critical for both you and your baby." I take a shaky breath and nod. "Do whatever you need to do," I whisper. Because now, nothing matters more than survival. As I lie on the hospital bed, the weight of everything that just happened, the attack, the fear, the restraining order, presses down on me. But through it all, one thought keeps me grounded. My baby. Dr. Harper stands beside me, her voice calm yet urgent. "Anna, we're going to take care of you. Just focus on staying calm." I nod weakly, my body exhausted, but my mind determined. Nurses move swiftly around me, adjusting monitors, preparing for surgery. The steady beeping of the machines creates a rhythmic pulse in the background. The cold sting of the anesthesia flows through my veins, and within moments, my vision blurs. The last thing I hear before drifting off is Dr. Harper's steady voice. "We've got you." The first thing I feel when I wake up is warmth. The harsh, sterile lights of the operating room are gone. Instead, I am in a quiet recovery room, the gentle hum of machines filling the space. Then I hear it, a tiny, delicate cry. Tears immediately well up in my eyes as I turn my head. A nurse stands beside me, holding a small bundle wrapped in a soft pink blanket. "Congratulations, Anna," she says with a warm smile. "You have a beautiful baby girl." A sob escapes my lips as she gently places my daughter in my arms. She is so small, so perfect. A tiny miracle. Her little fingers curl slightly, and she lets out another soft cry. I run a trembling hand over her delicate cheek, my heart swelling with emotions I can't even put into words. The pain, the fear, the trauma, it all fades away in this moment. She is here. She is safe. And she is mine. Nurse Maggie stands nearby, watching with a warm expression. She's strong, just like her mama. I nod, though my voice is too choked with emotion to speak. As I cradle my daughter close, I know one thing for certain. I will never let anyone hurt her. I will protect her, fight for her, and give her the life she deserves. Mark is gone for now. And for the first time in a long time, I feel hope. 2 days passed in a blur of exhaustion and relief. Despite the soreness from surgery, I was recovering well. More importantly, Lily was healthy, tiny, beautiful, and unaware of the chaos surrounding her birth. But as I watched her sleep in the hospital bassinet beside me, I knew I couldn't stay here forever. The restraining order against Mark had been filed, and hospital security had been instructed not to let him near me. But that didn't change the fact that I had nowhere to go. I couldn't return to our apartment. The place where Mark had controlled me, belittled me, hurt me, it wasn't just unsafe. It was a prison. A knock at the door pulled me from my thoughts. It was Sarah, my best friend. She rushed to my side, wrapping me in a gentle hug, careful not to disturb Lily. "Anna, I've been so worried," she said, sitting beside me. "I'm so sorry I wasn't there sooner." Tears welled in my eyes. I didn't know who to call. She shook her head. "You don't have to do this alone." She hesitated for a moment before speaking again. "Come stay with me. You and Lily. As long as you need." I blinked at her, unsure if I'd heard her correctly. "Sarah, are you sure? I don't want to be a burden." Her expression turned firm. "Don't be ridiculous. You need a fresh start and I'll help you get there." Something inside me broke. The walls I had built around myself for years, the ones that had convinced me I had to survive alone. I let out a shaky breath. "Okay." That evening, a nurse helped me pack what little I had, a small bag, a few essentials for Lily. My body ached, and every step felt slow, but I pushed through. I wasn't just leaving the hospital. I was leaving my old life behind. Sarah's apartment was small but cozy. Nothing like the cold, suffocating space I had shared with Mark. The moment I stepped inside, something inside me exhaled. For the first time in years, I felt safe. As I settled onto the couch, Lily nestled in my arms. Sarah brought me a cup of tea. "You're going to be okay, Anna," she said softly. "One step at a time." And for the first time in a long time, I believed her. A few days after settling into Sarah's apartment, I realized something important. Escaping wasn't enough. Mark was out there, and despite the restraining order, I knew he wouldn't stay away forever. He had spent years controlling me, making me feel powerless. I refused to let him have any hold over me or Lily ever again. As I sat on Sarah's couch, cradling Lily in my arms, Sarah placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. "Anna, you need to talk to a lawyer." I nodded. "I know. I have to make sure he never comes near us again." With Sarah's help, I found an experienced family lawyer, Lisa Carter, who specialized in cases like mine. The first time I walked into her office, my hands trembled. I was nervous. Part of me was afraid she wouldn't believe me. Mark always made me feel like I was the problem. But the moment I sat down and started telling my story, Lisa listened carefully, taking notes. When I finished, she met my gaze with determination in her eyes. "Anna, we have a strong case," she said firmly. "Your safety and Lily's well-being are our top priorities. The restraining order will be extended, and we'll file for full custody immediately." I swallowed hard. "Will he fight it?" Lisa's expression darkened. "He might, but we'll be ready." Over the next few weeks, Lisa worked tirelessly to build my case. We gathered everything. The hospital report, detailing my injuries from his attack. Sworn statements from Nurse Maggie and the hospital security guard. Photos of the bruises and marks Mark had left on me. The threatening messages he had sent me over the years. proof of his financial neglect during my pregnancy. Each piece of evidence was a step toward ensuring Lily and I would never have to live in fear again. But before we could even get to court, Mark made his move. I was starting to feel a small sense of safety at Sarah's apartment. Days passed quietly, and with each one, I felt a little stronger. But then Mark found me. One evening, I was sitting on Sarah's couch, gently rocking Lily to sleep. The apartment was peaceful, the soft glow of the lamp making me feel, for the first time, like maybe things would be okay. And then, a loud, heavy pounding on the door.
Bang, bang, bang.
My breath caught in my throat. Then, a voice that made my blood run cold. Anna, open the damn door. Mark. Sarah, who had been in the kitchen, rushed in, her face pale. She looked through the peephole and then turned to me, her voice urgent. It's him. Lily stirred in my arms, whimpering at the loud noise. Mark slammed his fist against the door again. You can't keep my kid from me. His voice was wild with rage. She's mine too. You're going to regret this, Anna. I clutched Lily tighter. My body froze with fear, but my mind was screaming at me to move. Sarah already had her phone in her hands, dialing. Yes, we need the police. He's outside, banging on the door. There's a restraining order against him. Please hurry. Then, Mark's voice changed. His tone softened, eerily manipulative. Anna, come on. Let's just talk. You know I love you. Love. A bitter anger rose in my chest. He thought I would fall for this again? Another bang against the door. Then, sirens. Flashing lights lit up the apartment window. A firm, authoritative voice rang out from the hallway. Mark Davis. Step away from the door and put your hands where we can see them. For a second, there was silence. Then, shouting. The sound of a struggle. Sarah and I stood frozen, holding our breath as the noises filled the hallway. Then, silence. Sarah peeked through the peephole. She turned back to me, letting out a shaky breath. They got him. The police dragged Mark away, handcuffed, cursing under his breath. He had violated the restraining order. That alone meant serious legal consequences, but combined with his past abuse and the custody battle, this was the final nail in his coffin. As the squad car drove off, I held Lily close, pressing a kiss to her forehead. You'll never hurt us again. And for the first time, I truly believed it. A few weeks later, I found myself standing outside the family courthouse, holding Lily close to my chest. This was it. The moment where I would fight for full custody of my daughter and ensure that Mark would never have power over us again. Sarah placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. You've got this, Anna. I nodded, taking a deep breath before following my lawyer, Lisa Carter, inside. The cold, intimidating courtroom made my heart race. Across the room, Mark sat at the defendant's table, his expression blank, but his eyes dark with anger. He refused to look at me. The judge, an older woman with sharp eyes, took her seat. We are here today to determine custody of Lily Reed. Let's begin. Lisa stood with confidence as she presented our case. She laid out everything. The hospital incident, where Mark had physically assaulted me. The photographic evidence of my injuries. The threatening messages he had sent me. Testimonies from Nurse Maggie and the hospital security guard confirming Mark's violence. His recent arrest for violating the restraining order. Lisa turned to the judge. Your Honor, Mark Davis has proven time and time again that he is not only unfit to be a father, but a danger to both Anna and their child. Mark's lawyer tried to fight back, claiming that I was being overly emotional and that I was trying to alienate him from his child. But then Lisa delivered the final blow. She pulled out bank records showing that Mark had been hiding large sums of money that could have helped pay for my medical bills and supported Lily, but instead, he had deliberately concealed it. The judge's expression hardened as she reviewed the evidence. After a long pause, she looked up and delivered her ruling. Full custody of Lily Reed is awarded to her mother, Anna Reed. Mark Davis will have no visitation rights due to the severity of his actions. Furthermore, given the evidence of financial fraud and domestic violence, additional legal action will be taken against Mr. Davis. A wave of relief crashed over me. I had won. Mark, however, shot up from his seat. "This is ridiculous. She's poisoning my kid against me," he shouted. The judge's gavel slammed down. "Enough, Mr. Davis. Your behavior in this courtroom only further solidifies my decision. You are to be taken into custody immediately for violating the court order and for financial fraud." Two officers approached, grabbing Mark's arms. He struggled, his face contorted in rage. "You'll regret this, Anna," he snarled as the officers dragged him away. But for the first time, his threats didn't scare me. I had won. I was free. As I cradled Lily in my arms, Sarah squeezed my hand. "It's over, Anna. You're safe." Tears slipped down my cheek, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming relief and victory. Mark was gone, this time for good. For the first time in years, I woke up without fear. No more walking on eggshells. No more holding my breath, waiting for the next outburst. But even with Mark out of the picture, my struggles were far from over. Being a single mother came with its own battles. Lily was only a few weeks old, and I was exhausted. Nights were long and restless, filled with her crying and feedings, and some days I was so tired that I could barely keep my eyes open. Money was tight. Even though Mark had been ordered to pay child support, I knew he would try to avoid it. I had no job, no stable income, and I had been so isolated in my marriage that I had nowhere to turn for financial help. But I wasn't alone. Sarah was always there, bringing groceries, watching Lily so I could nap, and reminding me that I was stronger than I thought. One evening, as I sat on the couch, rocking Lily in my arms, Sarah sat beside me. "You're doing amazing, Anna," she said softly. "I know it doesn't feel like it, but you're getting through this. One day at a time." For the first time, I believed her. A month later, I made one of the hardest decisions of my life. I needed to find a job and build a life where I didn't have to rely on anyone. With Sarah's help, I started looking for work. I wasn't sure what I could do. I had spent so many years just surviving that I had never really planned for a future. But I was determined. One day, as I scrolled through job listings, Lisa called me with unexpected news. "Anna, there's something you need to know." I frowned. "What is it?" Lisa hesitated before saying, "We've found something in Mark's financial records. Something big." I felt my stomach tighten. What now? What had Mark been hiding this time? Lisa's voice was serious. "Mark wasn't just hiding money from you, he was committing fraud in his business." I gripped the phone tighter. "Fraud? What kind of fraud?" She sighed. "He's been laundering money through fake accounts, evading taxes, and underreporting his income. That's why he tried to hide his finances during the custody case. But now, with everything we've uncovered, we have enough evidence to take this to court again." A cold realization settled in. Mark had never just been abusive, he was also a criminal. I thought about all the times he claimed we were broke, how he had refused to help with my medical bills and had yelled at me for asking for financial support for Lily. And the whole time, he had money hidden away. I felt sick. Lisa cleared her throat. "Anna, I know this isn't easy, but you have an opportunity here. If we move forward with these charges, we could ensure Mark stays behind bars for a very long time. And you may be entitled to financial compensation." Financial compensation. Money that could help me build a future for Lily, without struggling, without worrying about our next meal. But more than that, this was about justice. Mark had taken so much from me. He had tried to break me, to make me feel powerless. Now, I had a chance to fight back, not just for myself, but for Lily. I took a deep breath. "Do it, Lisa. Press the charges." Lisa's voice was firm. "You're making the right decision. I'll handle everything." As I ended the call, I looked down at Lily, peacefully asleep in my arms. For the first time, I didn't feel afraid of Mark. I felt powerful. The legal system moves fast. In the following weeks, Lisa worked with financial investigators and the district attorney to build the case against Mark. The evidence was overwhelming. Multiple hidden bank accounts, fake business transactions, unpaid taxes, and financial fraud. Mark tried to deny everything, but this time, his lies couldn't save him. When Mark was brought back to court, He looked furious and exhausted, but the arrogance he once carried was gone. This time, he wasn't just facing me in a custody battle. This time, he was facing real prison time. As the judge read out his charges, I watched his expression shift from anger to realization. And then, the final verdict. Mark was sentenced to 15 years in prison for financial fraud and domestic violence. The gavel struck, and just like that, it was over. No more appeals. No more threats. No more chances. Mark was going to prison, and I was finally, truly free. With Mark finally behind bars, I could have just moved on, focused on my own healing, my own life. But something inside me wouldn't let go of the past so easily. Because no matter how much I tried to forget, I knew there were other women out there, trapped in the same cycle I had barely escaped. Women with nowhere to go. No one to turn to. I couldn't ignore them. One afternoon, as I watched Lily sleeping peacefully, I made a decision. I was going to help women like me. With the financial compensation for Mark's fraud case, I had enough money to start fresh, but I wanted to do more. So, with Lisa and Sarah's help, I launched a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping domestic violence survivors. The organization provided safe housing for women and children escaping abuse, legal aid to help them break free from their abusers, therapy and counseling services to help them heal, financial literacy programs to help them become independent. Every time a woman walked through the doors of our shelter, bruised, broken, scared, I saw the same fear I once felt. But as I sat with them, listened to their stories, told them they were safe now, I saw something else. Hope. For the first time, my pain had a purpose. As the months passed, the organization grew. Sarah helped run the shelter, Lisa handled legal cases for survivors, and I worked directly with the women, offering them the same chance at freedom that I had been given. Helping others heal helped me heal. For the first time in my life, I wasn't just surviving, I was living. But amid all the growth, something unexpected happened. Someone else entered my life. For the longest time, I thought love only existed with pain. With Mark, love had meant control, fear, and walking on eggshells. I told myself I would never trust another man again. But then there was David. David was my neighbor. I had seen him a few times, quiet, kind, always willing to help. He never pried, never pushed too hard, just small acts of kindness. Fixing a leaky faucet, carrying my groceries up the stairs, checking in to see if Lily and I needed anything. At first, I kept my guard up. No one helps for free. That's what Mark had taught me. But David never expected anything from me. His kindness was genuine, patient, safe. And for the first time, I started to wonder, could love be something different? One evening, as we sat on my porch, watching Lily toddle around the yard, David turned to me. Anna, I care about you. About both of you. If there's ever a chance for us to be something more, I'd like to be here for you. I froze. I had spent so long running from love, convinced it was something that would hurt me. But David's love? It wasn't demanding or forceful. It was kind, patient, gentle. I wasn't ready to rush into anything, but for the first time, I didn't feel the urge to run. I smiled. Let's take it slow. And that was enough. One sunny afternoon, I sat on the porch of my small home, watching Lily laugh and play with David. The warm breeze brushed against my skin as I sipped my coffee, the sound of my daughter's giggles filling the air. For the first time in years, I felt something completely unfamiliar.
Peace.
I had survived the worst and come out stronger. I had built a life that was truly mine, a life filled with love, purpose, and hope. The scars of the past would always be there, but they were no longer a source of pain. They were a testament to my strength. As I watched my daughter chase a butterfly across the yard, I whispered to myself, "We made it.